For the second WWE show in a row, various NXT talents were backstage. More fresh meat for the grinder. And they're looking around. There's got to be a way out of here. There is no escape. The only hope is the sweet relief of death. Oh, come on now. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from Fort Worth, Texas. WWE Draft Night 2. Electric. Holy shit, we're just rearranging the furniture boogaloo. There's more supplemental draft picks taking place on Raw Talk as I'm recording, and yay, they just took pieces and put them over here. They're trying to pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. The rosters are not finalized until next Monday, so we could get trades, we could get a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just going to be rearranging the furniture. Look, I'm interested to see how a few of these NXT call-ups do, and maybe people actually being able to stick to, one particular brand, actually doing a hard brand split and making it seem like these people actually get opportunities. Maybe, just maybe, WWE can do it right. Because they've shown that they can kind of do it right before, but I don't have a lot of faith in that. That being said, what do you think of the draft classes so far? Who do you think won? Which roster is better? Raw, SmackDown? Is the Raw Women's Division better? Has NXT's Women's Division just been gutted? Now I kind of question what they're going to do with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, unless they're going to have the winners of that called up and they're going to be the champions on SmackDown or Raw. I mean, there's so many questions. So many questions. But yes, Fort Worth, Texas, stronghold of the Von Erichs and World-Class Championship Wrestling. There's barely anybody left of that entire roster. That's really goddamn sad. But apparently it was a sellout, 10,000 plus people, and they were rocking. They were definitely rocking. There were a lot of moments where this crowd was pretty goddamn amped. So, the go-home Raw for Backlash. My predictions for Backlash will come up later this week before SmackDown starts because it seems like the card's pretty finalized. So, here's Triple H with more draft stuff, kicking off just like he did for SmackDown. So he talks about, this long-winded stuff about certain free agents can go between brands and the brands can pick which one they like MVP getting Edward James almost free agent status. Because who the fuck is going to want a guy that makes Giant Gonzalez now seem good in the ring? And Giant Gonzalez has been dead since 2010 and was confined to a wheelchair for the last number of years of his life. So anyway, Brock Lesnar he's free to do what he wants any old time. So the rosters go into effect March 8th. Lousy smarch weather. Triple H seemed confused. Is he okay? I know he's under a lot of stress. He's had health issues. He seemed lost. He wasn't the only one that seemed lost on promos. I know that they did a couple shows, I believe, in France. They did one in Paris where there were people fighting with baguettes. They are fighting over shampoo. So Rhea's on Raw. Theory is on SmackDown. The Len Bias of the WWE Draft. If only he would end up like Len Bias. If you get it, you get it. So the difference is Len Bias seemed like he might have actually had talent. So Rollins is on Raw and Charlotte is on SmackDown. Isn't Charlotte off doing some kind of competition, bodybuilding or something? Whatever. Here's Heyman to talk about the fate of the Usos. It will be decided at Backlash when Solo maybe thumbs him in the goddamn throat. Since the Usos are going to end up being on SmackDown, Roman will use his power to push the Usos to Raw to get them away from him because, goddammit, you couldn't win the tag titles. I don't know. And then here's Heyman basically saying, wouldn't it be great if Roman won the world title? Then he could be Roman 3 belts. Then here's Rollins, who either raided Shawn Michaels' closet or Jeff Jarrett's closet for 93-94. I don't get Rollins' gimmick. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But whoa. Crowd loves singing the song. Anyway, he wants to win the world title. And Heyman is trying to be on the phone to his tribal chief, but the crowd won't let him be on the phone after Rollins has to very much prompt them. Come on, sing. We gotta get this thing done. Okay. So anyway, here's Solo. And they have a brief brackets and everything because they're going to have a main event. Pierce says to Cody, please don't have any chaos. And Cody just walks off. Nobody respects Adam Pierce. It seems, at least based on what I've seen on the show. Bayley and Dakota don't get a TV entrance. And they took on Liv and Raquel. 30 minutes in, and this is the first match. I'm not knocking. Except Raquel. She can piss up a rope for all I goddamn care. But I don't mind the fact that they're kicking off with the women in the first match. It's just the fact we had 30 minutes of talking and recaps before we got here. I did enjoy the fact that Dakota and Bayley were seemingly interested in watching Liv scissor on camera. And we get some good action. Liv sewing her ass off, getting the hot tag to Raquel, and then eventually getting tagged back in. We get a blind tag. Bayley tops and folds Liv up. 1, 2, 3. Stop thinking about it, Liv. Liv lovers, I know you're thinking about it. You stop it. You get some help. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm not on my game. Booker and Sharmell, they come out to be draft people. Zayn and Owens are on Raw. The Usos are on SmackDown. Judgment Day are on Raw, and the LWO are on SmackDown. I don't know how this has changed. None of this has really changed. I kind of assumed that that's where these people will go. And then we get shots in Fort Worth. Chris Von Erich and Kerry Von Erich take off their hats to you. And then we wonder, oh, Chris, you shouldn't have taken your hat off. It was holding your head in. This is not going well at all. And it was Team YU Ball versus the Alpha Academy with Maxine. The world needs more Alpha Academy as well. This is after a Mike's Hard Lemonade plug. The world needs more Alpha Academy like it needs another Black Plague as far as I'm concerned. Don't worry, we'll get to the real Black Very stiff senton from Ricochet onto Otis 1, 2, 3. Priest and Bad Bunny, we get recaps of that. It's going to be a San Juan street fight. In the vein of Carlos Colon, stay out of the showers. No, Jose Gonzalez, don't go near Bruiser Brody. You think that's the only time I'm going to make that joke about Carlos Colon, that piece of shit, and Jose Gonzalez, that goddamn murderer? You got another thing coming. Plenty of jokes during Backlash. So, Sean and Adam Pearce are out there to do more, drafts. And I don't know why they had Pearce out there. They could have handed Sean both envelopes and he would have been able to read them both at the same time. And let's just say Brett was always right about Sean. I mean, yes, they made up, but he was always right about Sean because he was always better. So anyway, here's Bork. He just blows Pearce off. And then they get security. He says, you're going to need more. And then they get more security. You're still going to need more. Get the infantry there. Wait, get Greg Abbott. And then he can throw Greg Abbott down the stairs like he did Zach Gowen, except hopefully Greg Abbott wouldn't get back up. And if you were somebody that voted for Greg Abbott, you deserve the absolute worst in the world, and hopefully your children abandon you and your family leaves you. So nevertheless, getting off my soapbox there, Cody hits him from behind. He punts the hat, and then he picks up the hat later. He kidnapped the hat. No! And then we get a big old fracas for a match that I guess might be decent. I mean, I don't really care, honestly, at this point, because Cody's story is finished, because you can try and finish the story. I wrote it off because I'm too busy laughing at the fact that Cody didn't win at Mania. All that build, and it ain't gonna mean shit when he wins. And Liv and Raquel are on Raw. Asuka's on SmackDown. They had Sean read both cards because he could read them both at the same time. Just staring straight ahead. Well, at least with one eye. Asuka's on SmackDown. Hooray! So she cannot do anything, because I think they've given up on her already. New Day on Raw. And the Brawling Brutes are on SmackDown. Oh, no! That means Sheamus can't battle Gunther for the championship. At least not yet. Have Gunther break the record. Let's see, 327 days. He's got about 4 more months, basically. Just have him break the record. Have him hold it. If they do a UK pay-per-view again in September, have him lose it there. But then he will have broken the record. That's all that matters. So anyway, Owens has had it with Riddle. I can identify because I have also had it with Riddle. Riddle took on Jimmy Uso. They do some shenanigans like oh no, it's like Eddie cheating and everything, and Zayn pretends that Jay hit Owens with a chair, and then they kick Jay out, and Solo wasn't there, and then Riddle wins after shenanigans. And I'm supposed to care because Matt Riddle's involved. Well, I don't. Then we get a package on Io. And talking about bowing down to Io, I would bow down to her any day she wanted. So anyway, Heyman is trying to drive a wedge between Solo and Jay. Big shock. Bischoff and RVD show up. Eric, I'll do anything for a payoff because I'm not good with my money and I can't get any company to give me a full-time job because I pretty much burned every bridge I have. Bischoff. He got pissed because Tony Khan cut off the goddamn money supply. And Tony Khan is more successful financially as far as running the company than really Bischoff ever was. Yeah, Bischoff got bigger ratings, and guess what? From 95 to 98, they were making a profit. And then how many millions did they lose after that? So nevertheless, Trish is on Raw, Cross is on SmackDown. Cross needs to be drafted to another company as far as I'm concerned. Shayna Baszler and Rowdy Rousey to Raw. Good job there, Eric. Good job. Good memorization there. LA Knight, yeah, to SmackDown. We'll see if they continue his winning streak of all one match. But yes, Shayna Baszler and Rowdy Rousey. Rowdy Rousey, actually, I believe is how he said. Good job, Eric. Real good fucking job there. Eric's a hell of a goddamn, performer on screen, but evidently his brain is just mush. Miz TV, I quit. I goddamn quit. I'm sick of the Miz stuff. Nakamura shows up, makes fun of his balls, and then kicks him. This was something they devoted way too much television time to. So, JD McTuna, Indy Hartwell, Zoe are coming from NXT to Raw, and I'm really, really happy for Zoe. I mean, I imagine she's got to be thrilled because she was a 35-year veteran when Raw came on the air. And now she can be on the same show where the Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young, worked a few times. I mean, honestly, like 35-year veteran, that just implies how long she's been wrestling. She actually was around to witness the debut matches for Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah. She was there when the Fabulous Moolah became the women's champion and held it forever. Trust me, I will stop these age jokes about Zoe Stark one day. No, I won't, because I have an endless supply of them. I will keep thinking of them because they're funny. I know she's way younger than me. She's way younger than a lot of my audience, but funny, because why not? So anyway, Edward James almost beats a guy named Anthony Alanis, who I think has wrestled on various episodes of AEW was Dark Elevation. Now they got rid of that, thank fuck. Can they just give up on Edward James Olmos? I'm not saying fire him, just have him be a bodyguard. He is not good. He is terrible in the ring. He's not good. Stop. Molly Holly, who looks great. Road Dogg, who looks like a sack of shit and is a sack of shit and has sack of shit thoughts. And if you think the same way as Road Dogg, well, again, like the Governor Abbott stuff, you deserve unhappiness. Lots of unhappiness, because Road Dogg is a sack of shit. And I only wish that Bullet Bob was still here. Not Bullet Blob, because Bullet Bob was always in great shape. Road Dogg's a blob, though. And we could have Brad Armstrong back instead of Brian Armstrong. So anyway, Team YU Bald is on Raw. By the way, that's Ricochet and the Brownie Paper Strongman. Shotzi's on SmackDown. Got absolutely no pop at all. They had to pipe in a pop. I feel bad for Shotzi. She's trying. She's been through a lot. I think that this is probably it. I don't see them utilizing her much at all. Here comes Bronson. He's going to Monday Nights to fix Raw. And Pretty Deadly are on SmackDown. Well, SmackDown was fun while it lasted. If you think I'm going to give any, coverage to anything that Pretty Deadly does, no, I'm not. I don't hate the people themselves. I don't wish anything bad for them. They are the worst tag team in WWE. The worst, by far. This whole yes boy, throw these yes boys into a goddamn wood chipper as far as I'm concerned. Give them a gimmick that doesn't suck ass, and then maybe I'll actually care. Except I won't, because besides the Young Bucks, I can't stand watching these two idiots. And people are like, oh, they could have teamed with Rollins. Well, then I'm not. If they ever if they get traded and team up with Rollins, say help Rollins win at, Saudi Arabia, if he becomes the first world heavyweight champion, I'll write Rollins off right there. Pretty deadly. Yeah, they're pretty deadly. They are walking death whenever they are associated with anybody. Also, I guess Tony D'Angelo and Stacks aren't very good at killing people and throwing them in the river because evidently they can just rise back up like Jason or Tor from Terror Tank Killer. God, that's an even deeper cut. They're back. They're back from drowning. Whatever. Nevertheless. So then here's Judgment Day. Goddamn Rhea is what I wrote down. Jeez. Jesus. Priest says, Bad Bunny, this Saturday you will face your punishment. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, Punishment Martinez. That's a joke. It's funny. It's funny. Dominic got booed out of the building. Yeah, at this point, I've given up on just booing Dominic. Now I'm just like, I don't want to see him. He's like Eric Watts or David Flair. I don't want to see him. I give him credit. Look, they got people to boo him. MJF's still better. MJF can wrestle. We want to make these comparisons. I'll make that comparison right there. I'll take an MJF match and promo over anything Dominic does. So anyway, nevertheless. But if you like Dominic, that's fine. So yeah, the LWO show up. And then we get the LWO, basically Ray, Santos, and Zelina against Priest, Dominic, and Rhea. It's a tease of Backlash matches. I wish Rhea would toss me around like that. I don't have issues. You have issues. Everyone dives, and Ray tries to hit 619. Balor stops it by taking the bullet. And then chokeslam 1, 2, 3. So there you go. Cody, well, he has to beat Borker. He'll be at the back of the line. And then Bianca basically berates Damage Control when they interrupt her promo and said, you know, I've always respected Io, but she has you two holding her back. And once I beat her at Backlash, she'll still realize she can do things on her own, going down the only road she's ever known. JBL and Teddy Long show up. I just wish that Io would destroy me. Shut up. You have issues. I don't. JBL and Teddy Long show up. Alpha Academy on Raw. This is good, so I can care even less about the tag division. Rick Boogs on SmackDown. Katana and Caden on Raw, so who the hell, what's going to happen with the tag team championships? Put a third team in there and have them win. I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point. And Cameron Grimes, apparently his recovery time took him to the moon. And now he's on SmackDown. I mean, good for him. Good. I don't know if he was injured or what. He has been off TV for a really long time. The last thing I remember him really doing of any substance was against Joe Wayne Gacy. Wait, no, maybe it was it against Carmelo Hayes? It might have been against Carmelo Hayes, but it's been a while. It's been almost a year. So anyway, Solo makes his entrance at 7:42. Seth Pheasant Rollins makes his entrance with nearly 10 minutes left. They go 2 minutes, we go to the break. Solo gets his hand caught, or actually it's his right hand, trying to do a tumble through the ropes. I hope he's all right, because he was holding that for a bit, so I hope he's all right. And then 5 minutes ago, they went really, really close to the wire, so they said, shit, Uso, Zayn, Owens, Riddle, go out there and we'll see you this weekend for the Royal Rumble. Yeah, Backlash predictions will come up sometime at some point, obviously, after this, because that's how things work. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.